Hey guys, this is my review of Iron Grip Warlord. So this game is basically a slight tower defense, like wave battling sort of game. I say slight tower defense because although you can build like towers and turrets and stuff to defend against a wave that gets sent towards you, they kind of fail because there's not that much room in the path that you can build them, and it's very specific on like whereabouts you can pretty much place them. Plus, they're not even that strong of traps. They're pretty weak ones. They die really easily. So I don't know. It's kind of pathetic building traps, especially since probably you as a person and your weapons are stronger than any traps that you could build, which kind of defeats the purpose in tower defense if your traps don't even really do much for you. But otherwise, you've got your character and you get different weapons that you can upgrade your attack and health and speed and stuff like that. And you got heaps of bonuses and stuff that you can find in the map, such as gold and stuff, which gives you power, and you get power from killing other enemies and destroying tanks and stuff that get sent to you, as well as officers and spies that they send. So the more power you get, the more stuff that you can buy, whether you choose to spend it on turrets or weapons for yourself. And basically this game is meant to be a multiplayer game. They do have a single player mode, which they call like skirmish or something, which is basically where you just play by yourself against what you'd normally play against in multiplayer, which kind of sucks because you'd kind of expect like some sort of single player in a game, but I guess they don't do that with this one. The multiplayer is pretty dead. Whenever I tried to play, there was no one online, and pretty much whenever someone did come online, it just lagged so bad because they must have their own servers or something for this game, because there are always games going, they're just always empty. But from what I saw, the game is pretty empty. No one really plays it from what I could tell. I did play with some people. They weren't that good, because obviously the more you die, the more your points go down. And when I played multiplayer, pretty much all I found was that everyone became like suicidal people and would run in and use the weapon which you can blow yourself up as to kill people around you. And pretty much they just sat there spamming that until all our points ran out, which was super lame. Whereas if you want to win, you pretty much just look for the enemy officer and just keep on continuously killing him, which isn't hard. You can pretty much do it with just like I usually prefer to use the MG to kill him actually. Pretty much you just shoot him with a round of the bullets and then use your grenade and he dies, and then they go down a heap of points. The maps are pretty basic. They have like basic set routes that units follow, and then there'll be a couple people who will take a unique way to get to your home base, which you're meant to defend. I don't know why you're meant to defend it, since even if it gets blown up, you don't really like lose anything too major. You can just rebuild it. So I'm not really sure what the point of it was, but I do know that your points go down if it like stays dead for too long. So usually you don't want it to stay dead, but it's really cheap to repair. I think it's only 150 power, which after like 5 or so minutes in the game, you're pretty much getting pretty constantly. So it's not really a challenging game. There are more difficulties to make it more challenging, but when you're playing by yourself, it's kind of boring playing this game, because obviously it is meant for other players, and if you play by yourself, then they chuck in these AI people who are meant to be the same as you, since you don't spawn like mass units or anything. You spawn, I think, like 8 or 14 people or something like that, which since there's no one on multiplayer, you're usually playing by yourself, and I don't know, they're not that strong or that smart. They all seem to group together, and then you just get a tank or something which will just shoot them in one hit and then they will die, and that's just really super lame. But I mean, they're not terrible people. They do defend and they do repair stuff really well. I personally don't really like them that much though, because they're not like the best units. If you're playing this game with other people, you'd probably notice there are better ones. Although most of the people, when I did get a game that actually had them, they were mostly like annoying people who just pretty much ruin the game. But oh well. There's not really any versing unless you play in deathmatch. In this game, there is co-op, which is basically just you versing a wave, and then everyone else is on your team, and you basically just kill the wave, which is kind of pathetic. So I don't know, I thought this game kind of like lets you down, sort of, because it's just, I don't reckon that it's really been made that wow for what they're trying to do. I do like the idea that they had for the game, and the gameplay is certainly fun. I like the combat in it. The shooting's pretty well done. I like the spies. Actually, it took me a while before I even realized there were spies, because they don't really explain that much in this game, since there's not really any single player or any really good tutorial sort of thing. So I didn't actually realize there was a spy. I just thought someone on my team had murdered me, but it turned out there was a spy. I think there's also engineers. I didn't really work out how to identify them. I just always would kill them for some reason. I guess they just spawn in the wave somewhere. The officer usually hides in the same position on whatever map you're playing on. He'll just go to the same spot in that map, and he doesn't really move around that much. Sometimes he'll walk to like a couple of meters away, but he doesn't really hide or anything. He just dies, and then he'll respawn and walk back to the same spot. So you don't really have to go looking around too much for the officer. If you're having trouble, just look on your mini-map, and he's probably the odd blue dot that stands out on the map and doesn't really walk around that much. Usually he'll have like 4 or 5 guys that sit around with him defending, but they're not hard to kill. They're pretty easy. So the enemy also has vehicles and stuff in this game, but I found that the vehicles were kind of pathetic. They take like 2 or 3 hits with a bazooka, but once you upgrade your damage, it's like not that difficult. There are other weapons in the game that you can pick up, like dynamite, rocket launchers, C4 that you can strap to yourself and blow yourself up, stuff like that. They're not like the best weapons. They don't really do anything that special. I don't particularly like the throwing weapons. I find that the range on them is pretty pathetic. I mean, the AI seem to be able to throw them really far. I couldn't really work out how to throw them that far, apart from like just looking up higher, but even then it wasn't that great. They do a lot of damage, so if you can find a good spot to throw from, then usually you can get a wee bit of power from killing people. But otherwise, I didn't really like find this game to be the best. I did enjoy the games that I played though, since like the gameplay is still fun. It's just not really made to be single player, I guess. They probably could have done it a wee bit better, or added a single player campaign, especially since the multiplayer is dead on this game. But yeah, if I had to rate it, I'd probably just give it a 5 out of 10, because it's really not the best, and there's only like, I think 8 or 9 stages that you can play on, and they don't really offer much differences between them. I mean, the games, they take, I think, about 30 minutes each to complete, depending on how bad you are or how good you are. They'll probably take around 30 minutes. I think my first ever game I played, I still won it, but it took me about 45 minutes to finish. But I didn't even know then that you had to kill officers to get their morale down. For some reason, morale goes up. I'm not really sure what causes it to go up, because I think my team's morale always sat around halfway. It went down to halfway. I'm not sure how it went down, but it did. The blue guys, I know that their morale stays up as long as the officer stays alive. Yeah, but I mean, it's not that hard of a game. Pretty repetitive, really. I don't think there is any unique units on like certain maps. They just pretty much spawn the same sort of stuff. It's just a different layout of the map. But yeah, but that's just my opinion of the game. If you don't agree with it, or you do agree with it, drop what you thought of the game in the comments below this video. Otherwise, I'm only going to give it a 5 out of 10. Okay guys, see ya.